So I used those that were, they weren't sealed. There was holes in them, and various leaves that I could find within grabbing distance to wipe my ass as I shat into a river, surrounded by mosquitoes. Like, that shit couldn't get worse. Hey. So basically, there are quite a few videos out there in ASMR land that reassure you that it's going to be okay. The problem with those is they've got no fucking idea what your situation is. They don't really truly know whether or not it's going to be okay, right? Like, how they know? And sometimes it ain't okay. Sometimes it's not okay. Sometimes things just suck, and then they'll just suck forever. If you're like me, if you lose a bit of ice cream on the ground, that's a fucking catastrophe. And you can't pick that up, brush it off and eat it. You'll just smudge ice cream everywhere. You can't wash it because it'll just melt. It's just lost forever. You can't replace it. It's like someone died. I know you can't just go and buy more ice cream. It's not the same. The ice cream you already bought had a purpose. And now it's just wasted. That's not okay. That won't ever be okay. You know. Or something not quite as bad. You could be homeless. I was homeless not too long ago. About a year and a half ago, I was thrown out of my house and no longer allowed to visit the religious organization I used to be part of. I'm no longer religious. And I lost my job at the same time. The whole division was laid off. So, you know, I ended up living in a tent in the north of Sweden, and it was leaking, so I had a wet sleeping bag. I tried to shit in the woods once when I was there. There were just tons of mosquitoes everywhere, basically. I couldn't take a shit in peace, and I didn't have toilet paper. You know what I used to wipe? A mixture of leaves and these little things that I've gotten. I got them from the dentist. I just basically, because I had some savings, I had like 1 month's wage, and I had to spend a ton of it to go to the dentist and had a wisdom tooth removed when I was there as a homeless person. That was expensive. Not the kind of way you want to spend money. Anyway, so I got these little things to stuff up in my into my mouth to stop the bleeding, and I had some that I didn't use. So I used those that were, they weren't sealed. There was holes in them, and various leaves that I could find within grabbing distance to wipe my ass as I shat into a river, surrounded by mosquitoes. Like, that shit couldn't get worse. The situation could not be worse than it was. And, you know, fuck off if you're telling me that that's going to be okay, you know. I'm still, you know, way below the poverty line where I currently am. I'm living inside a single room in an old hospital, so life ain't great. I've been looking for work for fucking ever. Unfortunately, my skills are not that of the job market, so, you know, almost unemployable. So, yeah, no, it's not gonna be okay, basically. Sometimes it just ain't okay. Or at least it certainly won't be for a very long time. So if you're in a situation where shit is just completely fucked, I can sort of relate to that. And I kind of felt like it was about time someone made a video that addressed that audience. Because yeah, sometimes you get your feelings hurt, and sometimes you don't get the exam grade that you wanted, but it's gonna be okay. What's not gonna be okay is when you lose someone permanently. You're gonna get over it, sure. That doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make it better. It's not, time heals in a way, but I lost my dad when I was 13, and that stuff isn't really ever okay. I'll sometimes joke about it, and I don't mind other people joking about it, but it's not okay. It doesn't really get better. It sort of gets worse in many ways. I have ambitions and I have dreams that I want to accomplish, and they're the kind of things that my mother would have no idea about, never understand. She's not a technological person. My dad worked with computers, so game development is something that he would at least have some idea about. And I don't get to share that with him. That's not okay. That fucking sucks. Things aren't gonna be okay, always. Jesus. And, it's not always okay. I really didn't expect to get emotional at all. What a surprise. I'm not an emotional person, honestly. It's kind of the whole point in this video, but Jesus. Oh, okay. Case in point. Things might just suck forever. Luckily, you might be in a situation where things can't get any worse. Like in my homeless situation. Couldn't really get any worse, and there was a little bit of peace in that. You could kind of feel free in a way. You feel free because you're like, fuck it. What else can go wrong? Bring it on, life. And it doesn't bring it on because it can't get worse. It's about as bad as it'll ever get. So yeah, that's kind of nice. If you're in that situation, I've been there too, and cool. It gets better. Doesn't mean it's okay. I don't know if it's ever going to be okay, but it's, it gets a little better at least. It objectively can't get worse. I mean, in a way, I guess if you're listening to this, you still have your hearing. It could get worse. There's probably already smart asses in the comments, but you know what I'm saying. It can't really, truly get worse. So, sometimes that's what you gotta hear, and sometimes that's what you gotta just kind of deal with. And there's not a lot of people out there who have necessarily experienced things to a point where things just all suck. All of the things suck. You don't have money, you don't have shelter, you don't have food, you don't have social interaction, you don't have hobbies that you can do, you don't have anything to hold on to almost. You'll always have yourself, which is why confidence and so on is very important. I was very lucky to have a couple of people who were willing to edit my videos for me when I was homeless, which is how I managed to keep up the channel. I would record using my phone, and I would charge my phone at a local store. And then I would... So I had stayed at someone's apartment for like a week prior to living in a tent, but I couldn't live there anymore, because I was just sleeping on their floor. There wasn't really room. Point is, I would go near their apartment and use their internet to upload. They didn't know, but I don't think they minded either. So yeah, I had a couple of people sticking with me, and I had, of course, my fans. So if you were there back then, thank you for sticking around. But sometimes people don't have that even, I was lucky to have my channel. I was lucky to have friends who would help me keep a hobby going, so I at least had something. So I suppose it could have gotten worse in some ways. But you know what I mean. It was pretty fucking bad. And sometimes you kind of lacked motivation to make a video at all, You might be wondering at this point what the point in this video is. If it's not going to be okay, then what? And that's kind of, that is my point. There's no end. It's just not okay, full stop. And it's just gonna suck. But at the very least, I've distracted you a little bit, and beyond that, I think losing everything or something that means a lot to you helps build character. It helps teach you what really means something to you, and sometimes you can get something similar or learn to hold on to the things that you have left, if you have anything at all. And a lot of the time it gives you freedom to double down on your passions, because you've already lost everything. What have you got to lose now? The important thing is to not let it get you down, because even though it's not going to be okay, it's not a fucking excuse. Suicide is an option, but it's not going to make things better, It ain't going to make you feel better. You're just not going to feel anything at all. I wouldn't recommend it. Because, it's not necessarily going to be okay, but it could be. Who knows? The only person who can make it happen is you. So, fucking try, alright? God damn. Yeah. I'm lucky that I don't have any, problems with anxiety or depression. Or at least as far as I'm concerned. I have had an anxiety attack. I have had, times when I'm down, but I don't think I can say that I have anxiety or depression. I don't think that's accurate. Certainly isn't clinically tested. I don't take any medication. I've never been told to take any mental medication. That might not be the correct term. I don't know. Some people struggle with that too, and if you do, honestly, I can't relate. I don't know how that's going to affect you. I'm not an expert. I'm pretty sure that sucks though. So, at least try to hang in there. And, that's it. Try to hang in there. There's not much else. Shit just sucks. But at least things can suck together, right? You've got me, to an extent, if you can reach out, and you need to. I'm here. I think the easiest way to reach out would be either a Facebook message or Snapchat. I usually contact people on there and usually reply, and I've had discussions with people a lot, so if that's necessary, you can do that. if talking to people will actually help you. If you're like me, that wouldn't. If you're like me, that wouldn't help at all. Not a random person especially. Yeah, so, hey, maybe it doesn't help, but maybe if you want that, so. This has mostly just been a video of me rambling on about how things sometimes just aren't going to be okay. I don't really know what else to say, but at least know that I get it. I get it. Things aren't going to be okay necessarily. You know better than I. You tell me. You think they're going to be okay or not? Maybe they will be. Maybe they won't be. Maybe go fuck yourself. That helps sometimes. Just buy a big old dildo. You think I'm joking? I got one. It's pretty fucking great. Not even gay. Straight up no homo. But your body works the same way a gay guy. Okay, so now I'm getting off on a sexual health. Alright? It's good for you. Anyway. I've got a schedule. I gotta get this video up in time and gotta edit that shit and whatever. So. I hope you're okay. I hope things will be okay, but I can't say for sure, so. For now. Fuck off, and if you need to contact me, you can do that. If you want more content, I have a channel, so check it out. Maybe you'll find something you like. Maybe you won't. I don't fucking know. Bye-bye.